Hey guys, welcome. I was having a little play today with the Gelli Plates, so I thought I would put a quick video together. These are some of the supplies that I'll be using. I use the cheap, I guess it's full-bodied acrylic that I get at Hobby Lobby, Master's Touch. And just going through the colors here. I don't end up using all of these colors in the process, but I didn't know that at the time, so I'm just kind of showing you everything that I had on the desk. And these are the two rollers. I have a number of rollers, but these are the ones that I use the most these days. And yeah, just some other colors here. I'll also put the ones that I used in the main pieces down below. I was going for some pieces that I could use inside the journal, so I figured I would, just come here and have a play and then record it, and we could have a little chit-chat while I'm going through the process. So I want to start with white. I love the ghostly prints, so I'm trying to go for this white and gray, yellowish kind of look. And I am by no means a Gelli Plate pro. I'm still, getting my feet wet here in the process. But I've had these plates for a while, a number of years, and I use them and pull them out every now and again. And starting a new art journal, so I figured I would get some background prints and some stuff I could use in some other projects. So I'm putting down some white here and just grabbing the magazine that I used to kind of roll off my brayer, just showing you it there, and pulling up some of that white onto the magazine, and then cleaning it off so I could put some paper down and just pull up some sections of the plate. I didn't want to pull up the whole plate. I didn't want to do a full pull. And just kind of playing around, taking off some of the white that I put down so I could fill in those voids with other colors. So this is really just getting started here and setting a base to use with other colors. And now I'm going to come in with this gray, this neutral gray, and some more white to kind of mix together and get this ghostly kind of coloring going. And as you can see, since I am pretty new at this, I get those circle patches that I've tried so many things. I still get them. I mean, I try to, maybe I'm not pushing hard enough. I don't know. If you guys have any tips, please put them in the comments. I've watched a lot of videos, and some people have the problem, some people don't. I don't know. It's just, I guess it's something that you have to work out over time. I think if I press a little harder or use a larger brayer, it seems to work a little better, but I don't mind it. I mean, sometimes I like those, the way that they kind of just fall randomly and you have no idea where they're going to show up. So, yeah, I don't mind. I don't know. It's just my opinion. But so I cleaned off the brayer and, grabbed some more paper. I actually grabbed a couple that I had the white on, and just pulling up a good majority of that paint and getting, some background pulls that I can use here in this process or in another project. And now I'm going in with a clean sheet and just pulling up a bit more of that because I want to have some additional voids that I can go in with to get some other color in there. And yeah, it's always fascinating to me how everything always looks so different, but I love that ghostly kind of look. And it's just one of those things that when I get there and I achieve that one really great print, then I'm so happy. All right, here we go in with yellow, that yellow. And I put a decent amount on here, again, working through the process of trying to figure this all out. And this time I grabbed the bigger brayer so that I could get, kind of push it out across the entire plate. And I do like working side by side with the two plates, because if I do end up putting too much paint down, then I can actually come back in and push it onto the other plate. But yeah, I just love all that kind of the way the paint isn't pulled up all the way, and it's kind of like that distressed paint look that, you know, you see on old buildings and stuff. A little too yellow for me, so I went back in with some more white here, pulling up some of that yellow as I go, because now the paint's dried on the brayer in those sections. So it was, yeah, I was pulling it up. But yeah, just trying to get like some streaks, and I'm simultaneously pulling up some other bits here. So it, you know, you never know what you're going to get. So you have to keep testing things. And even if I get a bad print, I don't know. I know I can always use it as a background for something, collage, or as another jelly, when I do another run of jelly prints. So I'm not too afraid of whatever the initial results will be, because I know that in the end there's a good chance that I'll use it somewhere, and then it'll be even more beautiful. Looks like I have some old paint on there, which I love when it comes up and you just have no idea when it's going to come up. So that's fun. Adding back some more gray, going back in to get it across the plates. And all I'm really trying to do here is just build up color layer upon layer, experimenting, seeing what I'll get here, looking to achieve, I don't know, I guess I don't know when I'm doing this what I'm looking to achieve, but I'll know it when I see it. So that's usually how it goes with jelly printing. I'm not doing too many complex techniques here. Oh, this is the fan that I use to quelch my impatience, because I don't like to wait for things to dry. But sometimes it's better if you let the paint dry a little, because then when you pull it up, it doesn't pull up everything. It might pull up spots, which is a process that I love. But anyway, I'm not doing too many like crazy processes here. I'll come in with a couple of stencils in a little bit. Here's more of that white paper I used, pulling up the initial pull at the beginning, and just going back in and trying to tap up some of that gray. You do see my fingerprints, which I know I probably shouldn't do that. Use the back of my hand, use a tool. I don't know. I don't mind. It looks kind of cool. But I love the gray and the yellow together. I don't know. There's something really organic about it. And blues. You'll see me come in with Payne's gray later. I just can't stay away from that paint. I don't know what it is. It's just got such an amazing color. No matter what I use it in. It's just, yeah, so there's that. And now I'm going to come back in again with some more white, because I want to fill in that, you know, those voided spaces with white, and hopefully it'll mute this out and get me to that kind of ghostly look that I love. So I'm going back and forth here and onto the magazine, over to the side. And you'll see in a little while I discovered some amazing thing with the magazine. So I'm going to do a whole video on that. But yeah, so just kind of filling this in. Again, just trying to cover up those voids as much as I can. And going to get a stencil. I cut this one myself with my Cricut. I use old manila folders and just cut out a pattern that I like. And sometimes I can reuse them. Sometimes I can't for this process, but I'll put them in collage or in my journals. So this is the other piece of it that cut out, and then or cut out of one of them. I think it's this one on the one side, and then I'm just drying this off a little more on this side. Because it was a little thicker over there, so grab the reverse of that, the negative, and put that there. And then I'm just going to go over both with like a gray color so that I can see the results of the two, you know, in the negative space, and then kind of painting into it on a positive. And more of that neutral gray. And I'm going slow so that I don't lift up it's like not really stuck. So, you know, want to make sure it stays down, and I'm kind of a klutz, so I've been known to just move stuff. I move too fast sometimes, and yeah, it doesn't end well. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. And like I said, I use old manila folders and my Cricut, and I just kind of find some patterns, and then I make them in Adobe Illustrator and, you know, make a PNG and cut them out on the Cricut. And if I can reuse the stencil again, I think it's great. A lot of times just by adding the paint, it actually stabilizes the folder, and then it makes it a little stronger for the next time. So as long as it don't tear, I can usually get a few uses out of it. And then I end up using it in a journal. So nothing really goes to waste, and the manila folders were just sitting around. So yeah, I just try to make the best use. All right, now I got to figure out a way to pull up this piece. So an edge came up and I grabbed it with a pen cap that just conveniently happened to be there. Lucky me. And go back in now and dry this off so that I can get maybe the full pull here after I put some additional paint over it. So I'm just going to dry it off and then come back in with a darker color that hopefully will, you know, bleed through what I built here so far. And I love when I pulled that one stencil off, the one that I'm drying now there, how it also pulled up some of the paint around it. And those are those ghostly effects that I absolutely love. All right. So now, and this is where I made that amazing discovery with the magazine, which is so fun. So for those of you who don't have a Gelli plate, you can get some pretty cool designs without one. And it was just by accident. I noticed this while I was mixing up these colors. So here's my favorite Payne's gray. It's like this bluish gray, if you're not familiar with it. And it's just, I don't know, it's just one of the most appealing colors to me anyway. So I love to use it. So I'm over on the right. I'm sorry, I'm out of camera, but I'm mixing up that and a neutral gray and a white, and just getting them down on that magazine and brayering them out there rather than on the plate, because I wanted to kind of mix them up before I made contact with the Gelli plate, so I didn't get a lot of those like you know, holy spots and stuff, which I wasn't too successful at anyway. But here I am. I'm gonna just go over these, and I'm sure you guys have seen, well, maybe you haven't. If you've seen a lot of these videos, it's pretty much the same. You know, we're just kind of building up layers, experimenting with different colors and the arrangement of the layers and what will pop through when you do that. So yeah, it's a process. It's one I'm getting used to. It's interesting. If you guys have any experience with the Gelli plate, or have any tips and tricks, I'd love to hear them in the comments. I'd appreciate it, since I am just getting started here. And this is just regular copy paper. So I also use a lot of recycled materials. I'm not using it here, but I tend to use a lot of junk mail and other items that, you know, like sometimes you'll get invitations to, you know, in the mail for, what's junk mail? Anything that is inviting you to, you know, become a member or whatever, a bill that you don't have to keep because, or a notice or something. I try to save all that and then use it here, so I'm not always using fresh paper. But in this case, oh, sorry about the shake there. 5 minutes I let it sit, but I didn't let it sit for 5 minutes. Why? Because I'm impatient. That's why. I'm a Scorpio, and patience isn't something that, well, I guess it depends on the situation. Anyway, so here's the discovery I made. So I had all that paint over there on the magazine, and I was like, oh, let me pull some of this out because I'm going to have to, you know, use it again. And I figured I'd put some paper on there. And oh my goodness, the results that I was getting just by putting the paper down into the paint that I had over there on the magazine. You guys are going to see. It's like so pretty. And the colors are all mixed in. And I was like, what? Like, see how it looks like almost like denim and chalk? I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. And so I was like, whoa, wait a minute. That's pretty fantastic. So I went and hung that up, and you'll see throughout the rest of the video, I go back to that a couple of times. So now I'm just pulling up as much of this as I can, and it is leaving some paint behind, but that's okay. I love that. Oh, I do like that. I like how the blue kind of fell into the outline there. That was kind of nice. I guess I got to learn how to show you guys the pictures longer. I'm sorry about that. I'll work on it. This is my first one, so I wasn't sure what was going to happen here. Oh, yeah. These came out good. I do like them. They kind of remind me of like denim and burlap and peeled paint, which I absolutely love. The jelly on the right is a new one. The one on the left is my existing one. And I wanted to do this side by side, so that's why I have, a new one, which pulls off cleaner. It takes a while to season the plate, it seems. So back in with some white now. And my lovely little spots, which I'm trying to press harder now at this point and try to get them all to come out. And just make it as even as possible. But I am going to probably come back in here with a stencil or some paper and just pull some of that up. So here's another one I made from an image. It's been loved a little. So I have it down here, and I'm just going to pull up in the spaces that are cut out in the stencil to make that void, and then go back in with some additional colors. Yeah, and that'll be a good base for another pull. And then I realized I missed that one butterfly. Sorry, little butterfly. And this was pretty cool. I like how it just did an outline. Isn't that neat? Oh, that's so pretty. I love that. I was thinking I wish I had some black cardstock with me at that point, but to go get it, it would have, been a bit of a mess. I might have lost some of that detail. I don't know, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not a pro at this. So, so I have, I did a bit of a pull up there, and then I'm just going to go back in with some colors now. And what color is gray? Gray, blue, Payne's gray, and that yellow. Because that's really what I was trying to do, is get that kind of eco print gray and yellow, but it takes a while, and you end up doing a lot of prints just to get that one or two that, well, I do, to get that one or two that are really on target for what you were envisioning as you started the process. So going back in now and grabbing some other, I think this is the gray again, and I went off to the right there again to kind of mix stuff up again and see if I could get another one of those really cool pulls that I got before. Now this is like a white and yellow mix. It doesn't look it, but it is. It's got a little bit of the yellow mixed in there. And coming back over that yellow, hoping that it will, this will be like more of a backdrop to that yellow. And I'm pulling another one of those prints off the magazine. I mean, come on. All right. Apparently I didn't show that long enough. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I went back with that same sheet onto the plate, and so you can get a little bit of a, if I would learn how to hold it up to the camera long enough. Yeah, so I'll get better at that. I apologize. But I am going to show you all of the prints at the end so you can see everything that I did during this process. And then I was thinking that I would go through and do some videos showing how to use our jelly prints. So we have a couple of ways to use up the paper, because when you do this, and if you do this, you know, you make so many prints and in a very short period of time. So it you end up with, I have so many folders of jelly prints, and I do use them in a lot of projects. So I'll go through and create a video where we can use up our jelly prints, and that will be fun. So just another thing that we can do to make art and explore the many uses of the stuff that we create. I mean, we create all this stuff and we buy all these things, right? So we don't want them sitting in file folders, which is where mine are. Okay, I realized right away that I had entirely too much gray on my plate at this point. So I put a lot of gray down, and I'm off, just wiping it off and pulling it off with some of that paper. Getting another print. Hopefully you'll be able to see this one. And I don't, you know, kind of do a drive-by like the last one. Yeah, it almost looks like crayon. All right, that was another drive-by. I just have to do like a 5-second count. All right, I went out to find some things to use, and this candle was handy. So it became the tool of the moment. And yeah, I just wanted to get some rings in there. So this is actually a candle I've been using. So I did clean it off after this. You just grab what you have. So I wanted more circles, but I didn't have anything smaller. So I'm like, oh, you know what? And I touched my jelly plate because I'm a klutz. So I'm trying to fix it here. So there's the cap to the white I've been using this whole time. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna, that'll work. Let's try that. And well, it was sort of successful. Yeah, there's so many things that you can use with the plate, and you don't have to have, like, you know, any store-bought tools. I use like rubber bands wrapped around a paper towel or kitchen towel core. After I use it, I've done that. You can wrap yarn around the same thing. If you have any wooden dowels, you know, you can kind of put rubber bands around those, and the ends of the kitchen towel roll work really good too. Bubble wrap is one of my favorites. And oh, look how they came up, like ghostly little butterflies. Those will be fun in an art journal. I can't wait to use them. And then yeah, any you know, like you saw, I grabbed a candle because it was handy, and you can make your own tools, so that's fun. All right, got some color off to the side again, and I'm just going back in to kind of cover this up. I'm gonna end up grabbing another stencil here too. All right, that time I put the paint right on the roller, which is fine. There's no rules. No rules for me anyway. I just kind of go with it, see what happens. What's the worst that could happen? I'd have a print that I have to go over, so. I think it's fun to just experiment. And, yeah, I don't know, just kind of try new things. How do we learn otherwise, right? I mean, you have to make mistakes. So I went to grab another stencil here, I believe. Maybe. Any of you guys make your own stencils? Oh, I was off playing around with the magazine again. I mean, these just, I don't know. I just love the way they look. So I think I'm going to do a whole video like no jelly plate, no problem. And here I'm just trying to get up just a little. This one I went a little further. Maybe trying to get up the whole thing at this point. Oh yeah, because this one I didn't pull up all the way, so had 2 sheets of paper there. Yeah, this is me pulling up the whole plate at this point. Oh, and those grungy edges are perfect. Oh, very nice. I could see these sort of while I was doing it, but when you review the video, then you get a closer look. And except when I do the drive-bys, you know, get any closer look. So hopefully I'll be able to show you those more at the end when I go through the full pack. Okay, I guess I got the stencil a little further along here. So just pulling up, making a background while actually also creating those voids, shaking the camera. That's fun. There. And I have a little hanger with some cafe curtain hooks that I hang these on, but right now I'm just putting them on the wooden floor behind me to kind of let them dry a little. And I thought I might reuse some of them in the next few pulls. So these are the colors. I'm going to a black now with that Payne's gray. So this is going to be a very dark now. I've been kind of light, and I've been trying to achieve that yellow gray, but it just, I don't know, I wasn't getting what I wanted today. So I just kind of went with the flow. These colors are so yummy to me. I guess I'm a bluesy kind of girl, and I tend to work more in those colors. I have those pinks and oranges up to the side that I used recently in another project, and they're gorgeous, but every ounce of me wanted to grab blue. I just was like, you can't put blue in there. So I had to talk myself out of it. Just lovely. Oh my goodness, there's something about that just sings to me. I love it. It's beautiful. All right, I grabbed one of those sheets behind me, and now I'm probably just going to cover everything that was on that sheet because it's such a dark color. Some of it peeked through. Yeah, just love those blues. They are just fabulous to me. All right, back with another one of them prints. And building up these prints is actually so much fun because you never know what you're going to get. And you never know how they're going to mix together. Okay, a lot of white. It's just too much white on there. So we're going to pull that off and put it over to the side there. And then, yeah, that white is hard to manage, the flow. Well, it is for me. To get it out of the tube without, because you can't see it, it's below you. And sometimes, and there I am trying to get those spots out. I can't. So I couldn't see it, and I just went overboard. It's a bigger tube, and I'm a little heavy-handed, so. All right, so I wasn't happy with those spots, but then I got this really cool result that was unexpected. It's kind of like a little ghost or something. So I figured maybe I could use that in some kind of Halloween spread or Halloween, page. Oh, more pages than I needed. All right, pulling that up. And look at this, to me looked like an angel, but I see angels everywhere. So I said, oh, wow, I could do an angel. It looks like an angel to me sitting there. So I could do an angel page or something in my new art journal. All right, so I took my circles and I came back in here and I got rid of most of the circles because that color is so dark. But you could still see a hint of them. And that page was one of my favorites because it kind of had a lot of that gray and yellow I was trying so hard to achieve. And I figured it would make a good backdrop to then doodle over with black and maybe paint over a lot. So now I'm over here mixing up this yellow and white and going back over these layers that I've created. I love how the corners are all built up like that, and there's like this aura of grunginess around the outsides. It is just so delicious to me. So I have it all kind of mashed up over there on the right, and I'm just so want to just dip paper in there because it's so neat. So I grabbed one of my other stencils here, and all I did here was in Illustrator, I just did a bunch of numbers, and and you could probably do this in Canva or something too. You just like lay them on your page and just twist them and turn them, make them different different sizes rather. You can use different fonts, and then just don't have a background and export it as a PNG, and then upload it to your Cricut if you have one and cut it out. And it's just fun. I don't know. It's just like really super funky, and I don't know. It has that numbers are just appealing, and 111, 222. I love those numbers. I love triple digits. I love numerology. So for me, numbers are just such a wonderful, delightful mystery. And I love this stencil. I keep reusing it again and again. I'll cut it out. And there's that yumminess from the magazine. I mean, come on. I am just, look, it's so neat. I am just so excited, as you can tell, that I found that discovery, because I have so many magazines, and I'm just going to use them like mad now. No jelly plate needed. I'm starting to get to that yellow gray I've been looking for, so this is another one that I truly loved. Yeah, that's a pretty awesome pull right there. Yeah, we're getting to the end of it here. I was finishing up. Hubby came home at this point, and I was done. he had stuff he needed to talk about, so I had to hurry up and finish up. But yeah, I'm mixing everything at this point. I wanted to get a lot of color on the plate. That's that neutral gray again, more of the white. Titanium white, and my favorite, Payne's gray. So here, there was a lot of paint here, so I ended up getting it on the magazine again and got a nice pull. So I'm using the bigger brayer now to kind of spread that all out across the two plates. And are you new to jelly printing like me, or jelly, I guess that's what you call it, jelly printing? And what has your experience been? Do you have any challenges like I do with those dots? I do lift, they tell you to like kind of go and lift, but I still mess it up. So do you have any challenges like that you are trying to work through? Maybe somebody here in the comments can help us work out our issues. At least when it comes to jelly printing, right? All right, so now I'm in my final pulls here. It is really hard to grab one sheet of copy paper. Just making sure it's all pressed down. Hoping to get some of that grunge off the corners, though. That usually comes up in a thicker pull, I have found anyway. When you have a lot of layers of paint and then you do like one gigantic pull. And yeah, so here I am back at the magazine, pulling all of that gorgeousness up. Yeah, love it. I know, I keep saying it. You're like, all right, we get it. Here we go. Oh, I got some of it. Yeah. I don't know. It's nice. Kind of looks like a sky, and those numbers are just kind of floating out there. Spots. And my brayer has like dings in it and dried paint on it, so it's getting all those like little effects. And all right, guys, that's the end of it. Thanks for spending time with me. Just pulling up, I guess, some last bits here on the plate, that white was remaining. So I appreciate you spending time with me, and I'll just go through now and show you some of those final results. Bye.